Still trying to throw the ball. On first and goal, second and goal. Panicking at third. Fourth, I'm wishing for a muff.
2, 1.
Welcome to the 510 Huddle. We back again after week 8, and man, things are going into formation in the NFL. How you feeling today, Coach Lane?
Feeling great, man. Week 8 in the books. Got one more game tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna really be watching. What about you? We got the Tampa Bay Bucks versus the New York Giants.
That's strictly a ratings game. That's going to be an ass whooping, similar to that Jets Chief game. I might tune in a little bit. You know, I'm a junkie, but probably more just to see how AB flow with that offense. Is he playing tonight?
No, week 8. So next week he had an 8-week suspension, so he should be available to play next week, I believe.
Oh yeah, it is week 8. For some reason, I'm thinking we dove into the next. Yeah, it's week 8. So yeah, next week we're gonna see him. So yeah, I might tune in a little bit to see how
If it
it's
was a
going.
better matchup, I'd probably get off early and go watch it. But now I'm going to work. I'm good.
Yeah, I could watch bad teams if they got like a young QB, just something. They ain't got nothing to watch. Daniel Jones, though, I
I'm
think
a
is
Yeah, I
like
was I was breaking this game down with my cousin earlier today, and I was like I'm a big believer in like any given Sunday, and I really do believe that like any given Sunday somebody can come out and win, but like I'm a big believer on trending too, and, and the way the Bucks been trending, especially on defense, they definitely going up, and the way the Giants been looking the last few games has not looked very well, so I definitely expect a blowout.
no 100%. And yeah, like you said, any given Sunday, I only do that with divisional games. You can have an old. Remember the Raiders were 0-10 and beat the 11-5 Chiefs, right? That's only divisional games where I believe any given Sunday. That's the only way. But let's dive right into it. Let's dive into our local teams and kick us off, D-Lane. What are the 49ers? And actually, let's talk about the news that came out. Um, Kittle's out 8 weeks, and Jimmy Garoppolo's out 6 weeks. So is the season over? Is the 2029 season over?
I think it's over without the injuries, and maybe even with the injuries, because I've been sold out on Jimmy. He didn't have a good performance or a good outing before he got hurt yesterday. The question now is to Kyle in front office is, do we even, because they're still kind of in play for like that wild card spot. But the question is, do we even play for that, or do we just shut it? Guys are hurt again. Kittle, our best player on offense, is hurt. QB's hurt. Do we just say F the season and don't tank and don't win no more games and try to get a high draft pick, or do we continue to fight and lay the groundwork and the foundation? I don't know, man. I really don't know, because it's like you can't really say lay the groundwork for next year because you was just in the Super Bowl, so it shouldn't be no groundwork to lay. It's like you guys know what it is to get it done. So I don't know. What would you do? I'm really stuck there. I don't know if they should either tank or keep playing for that wild card spot.
I'm not gonna go off what I would do. I'm just gonna go off what I think the Niners are gonna do and what they've shown to do. Um, Obviously with Kittle out 8 weeks, the 20 players on IR throughout this season. They just traded away Kwan Alexander to the
Alexander,
Saints.
yeah.
Now he was due a lot of money. It was more of a cap relief move, and they have Fred Warner and Greenlaw, or two linebackers. Having three linebackers is just getting greedy, and they need to create cap space. So with all that being said, I think the Niners are going to be selling and creating cap space. The rest of the season is about developing young talent. And with Brandon Ayuk, Ken Law, and seeing what you have as a complete team. Now they have Kyle Shanahan, who I believe is a top tier coach. So I think they're gonna be in a lot of these games the rest of the year. They're not just gonna fall over. But it's definitely, I would say it's definitely over the rest of the season, just because how hard the NFC is. They play Packers on Thursday night, so I mean it's a brutal schedule. They got the Rams. The Rams might be in their revenge mode. They embarrassed them on Sunday Night Football, so it's a
I'm
hard
pissed.
stretch
I'm
coming up.
pissed off about the injuries for the Niners, and I'm also pissed off with the way the Packers been playing the last couple weeks, because I was looking forward to this game. I was ready to see what LaFleur had for Kyle, because Kyle's 2-0 against them. So I was
I will
definitely
say this.
ready. I was ready to see what this matchup held for us, barring the injuries and the way the Packers been playing.
What 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 do you think with the remaining schedule, right? They played a Redskins and the Cowboys, and the rest of the remaining schedule was against teams with winning records. So right now they have 4 wins. So let's just give them. Let's just say they beat the Cowboys and they beat the Redskins. That's 6 wins on the season. They're almost going to be in that weird spot, depending how the rest of the teams play out, where they might win 6 or 7 games and be out that top 15 range. Do you see them? We talked about Jimmy's struggles. Do you believe it's the ankle, or do you believe he's just, this is who he is, right? If he's not,
Man, I
what
think
do
it's who he is because it also ties into one of my first concerns, not just the way he throws the ball and how he can be a bum from time to time. My other concerns with him, and he answered it in part last season by being able to play a full season. But one of my main things always was with Jimmy. Can I see him hold up and be able to play? You feel me? And stand in that pocket and deliver those throws. I felt like some of his inaccuracy came from flinching in the pocket early on in his career, still doing some of that somewhat now. Just not being able to stand in that pocket because he's been injured multiple times. So this for me falls right in line with this is just him as a player. He gets hurt. He's not very accurate. I don't know what to tell you, man. I see Kyle and company going into a different direction next year.
Yeah, I don't know. The fact that Kyle kept putting the injury, everything on Jimmy this year on his ankle, I feel like the Niners aren't going to get a quarterback like early, far as doing that, Pat Mahomes move or trading up high, get a top 10 pick. I think they're going to do one of two things: draft a QB in the second or third round of next year, right? Sign a guy that is a tweener, right? Let's say one of those Nick Foles type level players. I don't know who that may be. Or they might draft late in the first round another quarterback. I don't see them addressing a QB high next year. I feel like they're going to add another playmaker to this team. Probably in the secondary, right? As we see, Richard's going to be older, coming off an injury this year. Safety play, they're not real athletic at safety, so I think they're going to try to do that. They got to battle Kyle Murray and Russell Wilson for some more years, so I think that's what they'll do. But I have a question for you, and I think this is, as a 49er fan, do you trust in your team going to get a quarterback? And the reason I say that is, obviously Kyle Shanahan's a really good coach, but I don't think he develops quarterbacks. I think he's really good at putting quarterbacks in the best position to succeed, but I don't think he's a guru per se. Do you think
I mean,
can you see Kyle succeeding with a rookie
He got
quarterback?
Kirk pretty young. He got Kirk pretty young.
Okay, yeah, Kirk, but I mean they won
Yeah.
7 and they weren't
They went
lined
to the
up the
playoffs one of those years with Kirk.
right. You're right. One of
Um,
them. So I don't know.
um,
I'm just starting to
yeah,
think like QB might. Will the Niners get that QB? Because in the division they have 2 QBs that are dynamic, and
you know what
Russell's
my
going
answer is.
nowhere. Neither is
My
Kyle.
answer, Zay, my answer is for that. Damn, if he can, if Kyle can get along with a young guy or not. Kyle be able to coach him up at the end of the day because I've seen that he has a record, history of that. The question is, can him and John Lynch hit on a quarterback? That's the question. Damn, if he can coach him up and get him to play. I think that Kyle's already proven that. Like you say, he's an elite coach. I think he can. I'm not saying I'm not sure. I wouldn't say he's a quarterback guru. Definitely an offensive wizard type guy. But I think he can coach the guy up and put him in the best position to be successful if they can hit on the correct quarterback.
Yeah, Niners in a weird spot, and Kyle Shanahan I think has probably had the weirdest tenure of a coach we all think is pretty good. From basically hasn't. I mean, I don't think he'll have a. I'm going to say that he's not going to have a winning record this year. So he's had 3 losing seasons and went to the Super Bowl.
It's
So it's weird.
it's weird, but what we can say is I would say he's overperformed without having his quarterback because the whole tenure he hasn't had his quarterback. Well, he thought he did as far as in Jimmy, but clearly Jimmy's not the guy and turned out to be the guy. So I will say I think he's been good as advertised and probably if anything a little bit better dealing with the fact that he hasn't hit or found the main guy to the puzzle for a football team, which is your
Yeah.
quarterback play.
No one would say the amount of injuries is hard to overcome. So I still believe in Kyle. But I will say I believe in Kyle the coach. I am worried about if they can find a quarterback or because this is a fact. Jimmy, we could talk about him being inaccurate. He got to they got to the Super Bowl with him last year, so you know he could do that. But the data shows his weakness to me isn't the inaccuracy, the picks here and there. It's staying healthy. He's going to turn 30. He's going to be 30 next season, and has finished one season in his career. Was hurt with the Patriots, got hurt with the Niners, twice, right towards ACL. Next year, finish the season. This year, can't stay healthy off an ankle, and he's going to be 30 next year. So that's one thing. If you are the Niners, yeah, and again, I think that will keep Jimmy. I don't know why you would do that again, when you know he can't stay healthy, right? And for the win in the NFL, you got to have a great quarterback or all the pieces to connect. So we'll see. But yeah, that's the big thing with Jimmy. He cannot stay healthy. That's his biggest weakness.
Yep.
Let's move on to the Raiders, who had a gutted out performance over the weekend against the Browns, which, I came out and said that's pretty much the season. I was leaning Browns as well because of the weather. I said if the weather is bad, I got Browns. But the Raiders pushed through. And so let me ask you this, D-Lane. How do you see this team making the playoffs? They have the easier part of their stretch. Do you see them making the playoffs after this win?
Yeah, and they were competing coming into this week with Cleveland, correct, for that spot.
Correct. Now it's Cleveland's still in that mix, and the
Yeah,
Dolphins
because
gotta watch
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah, and man, the Dolphins, man. Would you believe me if I told you the Dolphins lead the NFL in defense by points allowed?
No, but that
They
means
do.
we gotta start
That's pretty
recognizing
crazy.
Brian Flores, give him his respect.
Man, gotta get that man his respect. But yeah, I got the Raiders. I got the Raiders getting in there, man. I think you guys can get in there. I think I like the offense. Like we said, the offense can score 30 a game, week in, week out. You guys will definitely have action, but we definitely got to tip our hat this week to the defense because the defense actually stepped up, held the Browns only 6 points. But I don't know if that's really saying much about the defense or just lets you know how shitty and piss poor Baker Mayfield is.
Yeah, I think. I think Baker is who he is. I think he's the worst possible quarterback you could have in a cold game. He doesn't have the athletic ability to just stand back there and flick it. Carr, who has a way stronger arm, was struggling to put direction with the ball. One deep pass, he was accurate short. But I think I'm looking at the Raiders' next 5 games, and I think they'll be in full playoff position if they can find a way to win, 3 of the next 4. They play the Chargers, Chiefs, Jets, Broncos, Falcons. If
Zay,
they
go ahead, my bad.
if they can find a way to win those next 3 of the next 4, they'll have 7 wins heading into December. And I think it's going to take there needs to find 2 wins to end the season off, which they play. Wow, they end the season off against they play the Dolphins late in the year too, so might come down to division.
Not gonna be easy.
Yeah, it's not gonna be easy, but they play the Colts, Dolphins, Chargers, and Broncos. Those are the last 4 games. They just have to find a way to win 2 of those, and they'll be at 9 wins. So you look at
So
this.
I got a question for you. I was arguing with my cousin earlier. It wasn't really arguing. We was discussing. He's a regular fan, a Raider fan. My big cousin. And I was just like, because he was getting on Gruden about his play calling and saying how vanilla it still is. And me and him both agreed with the fact that Josh Jacobs is getting a lot of carries, and the average or the yards ain't really adding up. This past week he had a solid game, but it's like it's like Gruden's just consistently like between the tackles. He's not getting the man the ball in no space, not flexing them out, nothing like that. And then the big plays aren't really there. What did he have? Ruggs had 2 catches, like so. But my argument countered my cousin when he was saying that as far as and he was complaining about Gruden's offense and being so vanilla in the old school. I was like, I also think Derek Carr leaves a lot of plays out there, big plays out there that Gruden dials up that just doesn't get hit. Which one do you think at the end of the day is it more? Do you think Derek Carr is leaving more to be desired out there and leaving a lot of plays on the field, or do you think Gruden? Could you watch more of your team? Do you think Gruden is just playing vanilla with the shit?
Yeah, I would disagree with both standpoints. I mean, one, you can only get so fancy. He's only had his O line healthy together for three snaps the whole year. So I also point that out when you're having your third string guard, third string left tackle in there, you're not going to be running the ball as good as last year, right? Last year we had a healthy O line majority of the season. I mean, yesterday against Cleveland, we had to run the ball in those conditions, right? That was the type of game it was. 37-mile winds. Um, but I don't think it's been vanilla at all. We're dominating the red zone, top third. The offense is top 10 almost every category you can find. Now,
Bro, I'm saying when you watch the ball, when you watch Josh Jacobs get 31 attempts, you don't feel like it's just other ways we can get him the ball instead
I
of just
think no,
31 between the tackles. I feel like
I,
every fucking one is lined up behind.
I, when he had 31 attempts, that was the most attempts. First of all, that's the most attempts, top 10 most attempts in Raider history for a back. That was the game called for, and he rushed for 128 yards, averaged almost 5 yards a carry. So I don't see that as vanilla in the snow. Like to me, no one was going out there passing the ball 30 times.
It was raining. It was bad. It wasn't snowing though.
It was snowing. I watched. You know, watch the game.
It was heavy snow.
It was on and off snow. Yeah, it was on and off snow. Yeah, with the wind at 37 miles. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I think it was.
I thought it was wet and windy. I didn't really see no.
Yeah. So, if you take the Browns game as what the Raiders' offense is, I just don't like. To me, that's just not. It's football. When you have rainy, snowy, winds 40 miles an hour, you run the ball. And that's obviously what both teams are trying to do.
I'm not just saying about this game though. We was talking about overall as far as
I can't say that. I can't say that when you're in top 10 almost every category. Now, is Carr leaving some plays out there? I would say, he can hit a couple more big throws, but I think he's 8th in down the field completion percentage. So again, I've been judging Carr, as we know this is a big year for Carr. I haven't. There's been, I think, the only game this year where I was like, "What the fuck?" was the Bills game, where it was just a weird game. But the rest, I mean, Carr rushed for 40 yards with his legs yesterday. Most yards as a Raider quarterback. So I just think he's finding ways to win games. And with, I think Ruggs needs more touches. But
that's what I was going to say. That was the other thing I was going to tell you.
Again, so when I step back, like where Gruden improve, I think Ruggs needs more touches. But outside of Ruggs getting more touches, I don't see a problem with all of the offense. When your defense,
I think Ruggs needs more touches. I feel like Josh Jacobs needs to get the ball more in space, a little more on the perimeter, and get a few catches. I feel like Darren Waller could be used damn near how he was used against the Saints. That was the best I feel like y'all used him in the past 2 years. But I feel like that could be a replica more ongoing in more games if y'all use them that way. I feel like Gruden. I don't know if it's Gruden or Carr, but I feel like a lot of y'all talented weapons are being underutilized, especially Josh Jacobs.
I wouldn't say Josh Jacobs because let's take the Bucs game, playing the number one defense and the number one run defense with the whole O-line not at practice.
Give him the ball in space, run some sweep action instead of just pounding the shit between tackles.
Again, we've done that with Josh Jacobs. I think with Gruden's run schemes with Josh, I think he's done fine. And I can't nitpick an offense that's top 10 in every category. That to me, that's just like to be top 5. We need a defense that creates more possessions where we can't mess up. We have to be perfect on every possession. And the second, we have to have one.
He's second in attempts. Josh Jacobs. He's 16 yards, which isn't bad, but he's 45th in yards per carry.
Yes, and he was dead
at 3.6. At 3.6, which isn't very good.
It's not.
It's cool. It's okay.
It's not. But yeah, I think how he's being used this year. I just don't see a problem. I'm just saying every Raider game, full game I watched this year, I'm like, man, our offense is holding our back. Or man, I just look at it as like, okay, we lost against the Bucs. We lost. Like you look at our loss, it's not we have one bad loss. That's against the Patriots at their crib. So I just don't see
the Bucs waxed y'all too. They put 40 on y'all.
40. The game was in one possession until the fourth quarter. So that's why I don't really say. But you can say that's a wax, right? Got out of hand in the fourth. So I just look at it. I think the offense is getting better and they're doing what they got to do. But again, this is the best year I think I've seen Carr and Gruden together in these 3 years. Obviously, the talent, and I think Ruggs needs more touches. I mean, Waller's top 5 in every tight end category I'm looking right now. So again, the guys are getting touches. I just think when you have an offense that gets 0 extra possessions and you punt once, you're like, oh fuck, our offense is off today. Right? The Raiders have the least extra offense possessions in the league. Right? That's your defense. So when you don't have that, you got to be perfect. You got to be perfect. Right? You're starting long fields. You got to be perfect. So again, no excuses.
I think I did say that argument to my cousin. So I did say y'all defense don't really help
when
y'all.
you're top 10, again, if Derek Carr was Russell Wilson, Pat Mahomes, one of these A-level quarterbacks, then I'm 100% with you. Like, hey, we're leaving a lot out there. He's not. He's a B-level quarterback, and I think he's playing the best football to his ability. And we're 4-3 with the hardest. I think they showed on ESPN this morning, the hardest NFL schedule this year. We've only played one team without a winning record, so I think the Raiders at 4-3 with the 31st ranked defense shows how efficient the offense has been. I think, and I will say this: a big part, I think, of Gruden running, I guess you could call it vanilla. Raiders have to win time of possession in these games because of their defense. So I think that's where I see a lot of times Gruden like, man, we need to keep that clock running. Our defense, we can't leave them out on the field. But I don't know. I don't see the offense as something to pick at when it's the whole reason we're winning games. Now, if we had an all-pro receiver and an A-level.
No, we was more so just judging, talking about your coach and your quarterback. And you can say it's not that big of a deal, but we also got to remember we in year 4 here of this 10-year contract. And the front office is like, when we going to see something, man? Because it looks like y'all understand.
Huh? We're in year 3. We're in year 3.
Year 3. Okay, yeah, my bad. I thought it was year 4. My bad. I'm
year 3. First year rebuild. Last year 7-9, right? And then this year we're on pace. So again, that's why I can't complain. Came in, rebuild sucked. Went 7-9, on pace to go 9-6. So to me, it's like, all right, I'm seeing progress. And with a hard stretch, right? With this playing only one team with a losing record through the first half of the season, right? And so I don't know. I just think I'm seeing progress. I'm seeing we're doing stuff we haven't done. Beat KC at their house. We didn't do that with Del Rio, right? Winning a cold game, win a must-win against a Browns at 5-2. So I'm seeing things that I haven't really seen from the Raiders teams in the past. So that's why I'm optimistic, even with the so-called good teams with Del Rio, right? So I'm seeing that type of progress. Where I have questions is how much we dedicated to defensive free agency and not getting an impact. And I want to see Russ get more touches. So those are the 2 questions I have as a coaching staff. But other than that, it's, let's keep doing what we're doing and battle out these wins. But yeah, I did. It's funny too because it seems like the way Carr is playing, I kind of feel like he knew, like if I have to make sure that this season when it's in the year, the Raiders or Raider fans are saying, you know what, Carr lost us a game at playoffs, or we just had a little better quarterback, we would have. If I think and I feel like Carr's playing that way. Like seeing rush for 40 yards, two of the first down runs came on third down. That was I've never seen that, even 2016 Carr. So I think we're getting the best out of Carr this year, which is showing. Now I did see someone get carried away today though. They wrote a article saying should Carr be considered an MVP because he's like top 5 in these categories, and I was like, slow the fuck down now. If it's week 16 and the Raiders got like 10 wins, 11 wins with that defense, then we can bring that up. But Russ has a 32nd ranked defense doing what he do. So no one should even be in the debate. And I want to talk about that right now. The MVP race, since we're just on it. Is it Russ's to lose right now?
Yeah, it's still. I think last week did I have Russ? I think I had A-Rod. I think
A-Rod. Yeah, he lost again.
A-Rod, yeah, man. It doesn't look good. It's not really even so much on him. I really got an issue with their defense. I'll talk about them another time. But I'm gonna actually go with Russ. Russ is to lose. But I will say is after this past week, even though it was against a shitty team, my boy Russ didn't enter back into the discussion. And I don't think he never really left, but it was just like he was towards the bottom half or whatever. But he didn't put himself back on that map. 22 to 1 interception ratio, I love it. You can't ask for more than that. So I'm gonna put Russ back up. I mean, I'm gonna put Pat back in that talk like right there, but still Russ is the lose.
Yeah, I don't think there's a second. Like it's just Russ, and then you can argue and just throw random people in that's going to change week by week. So I think until Russ I think Russ needs to have like a weird 2 weeks for anyone to even be in that conversation as a legit candidate. But I think it's his to lose right now, and I think the connection him and DK are building up. It's just bringing even more hype around Russ's name. So yeah, it's definitely Russ's to lose. You know, A Rod is weird to me right now. I almost not comparing them, saying they're the same type of quarterback, but A Rod and Lamar, they beat the dog shit out of average and weak teams. Like they look like out of this world when they play average to below average teams. But when they play, Vikings they have talent and it's a divisional game. But when they play any team that just like that doesn't fear them, it looks they look frustrated and annoyed. So
Like
I don't
I
know. That's just
said,
my
man, I don't
comment.
know. You answered it with the Viking game. That's a division opponent. They put 40 on their head already opening the year out. So I think we already know who the
They've
better
had
team
two.
is
They've
out
had
there.
two losses where A Rod looked terrible.
I
Vikings
know,
and,
but
and
I
Bucks.
keep telling you, if you really watch that Bucks game, that shit, like it was to the point where it could have been like 17-0 Packers, but then he threw 2 picks, and it was just like the momentum never came back.
But you
Like
can't
they
say
was in
what
that.
he threw two.
Now, I know he threw 2 picks, but I'm just saying though, we know what type of game this is. That momentum is big. That shit shifted, and they just never got it back. I'm saying that momentum just never changed like that. We could be talking about a route the other way, and we like, damn, Brady, does he still got it? Because A
Yeah,
Rod was on
I
their ass.
judge I judge A Rod off like that game to me. If the Bucks, so the next week the score is 24-20 against the Raiders, and so I'm like, all right, why if Carr looks better against the Bucks, that shows a lot to me. Like I didn't. So
Momentum, man.
that's
Momentum is
fine. That's fine.
different.
That's cool. Again,
Momentum.
you're right. Momentum. So MVPs find a way to get themselves out the hole, and he didn't do that. He didn't do MVP. So, and he's not an MVP this year. I mean, guys ass whooped again. So, I think the Packers are the same team as last year. So, soft. So, the defense is man. Dalvin Cook looked like he's back in Florida State yesterday. So, um.
Boy,
I
crazy.
want to ask you about DK since Russ is our MVP midway through the season. It's his to lose. Is there any receiver in the NFL right now? I'm not saying next couple of years, right now that you want
Yes,
DK.
yes, 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 yes. I mean, how many times you want me to say it? Yes?
Still,
Multiple
okay.
receivers. Yes, multiple. I'll
Multiple.
take D Hop right now over him. I'll
I
take
wouldn't.
Julio. Right? What you say? You wouldn't?
Nope.
Crazy. Bro, do you see college smiling when he throw the ball to D Hop? Man, you can just put that bitch out there. He catching
Same
it.
thing with DK. Keep going.
Everything. Nah, DK, nah, man,
No,
nah.
I'm
He ain't
saying
got
right
the.
now.
You
I'm not
saying DK
saying.
got the same? You saying DK? No, you saying DK got the same hands that D Hop do?
I asked you better receiver. I'm not judging who has better hands,
I
better
know. I'm
receiver.
just saying that goes into it, but I'm saying
T.O.
even better receiver. I'm taking him.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not with
D
that.
Hop, I take Julio. Julio said he about to wake niggas back up and put people back on game. He making dudes fall
I
last
said
week.
right now. You naming guys that I
I'm
think you're
telling you
having
right
bias.
now. I'm talking about right now. If I'm the GM and I'm picking my receiver, yes, I'm still taking these guys. D Hop, what do you mean? D Hop leads the league in reception. He's still balling. What are you saying?
I'm just saying. I think DK is unguardable. That's what I'm saying. I don't think any.
I think D Hop unguardable. You can't put nobody on him. D Hop been killing fools all year.
But see, D Hop to me, D Hop can't do what DK can, but DK can do whatever D Hop does. That's what I'm trying to say. When I'm
He
seeing
ain't got
plays
that.
where,
He ain't got that.
yeah, no. D Hop. I
DK
mean,
nice, but I told you, I don't know. He got a little dog in him, but it ain't. I don't know. It ain't enough of that side. I don't know if it's just because it's
said
that
you don't
makeup.
got
It's
enough
like
dog in him. What?
yeah. I don't know what it is, bruh. I
I
don't know
think he
what
just
it
got a
is.
bias. I think I just feel like a lot of people didn't believe he'd be successful out of college, and and then the fact that he is that they just
No,
something's missing.
I don't know. I don't know, man. It's the same thing. Like I don't know. I don't know if it's because
Can't say I
his
don't know. I need an
size
answer, man.
and his frame. I don't know if it's his size and his frame that makes it like so. Like, damn, I just want to see a little more like dog out of him. I don't know. He got all that size and that speed, but like you don't see him. He
He's the best
dominate
blocking
here
wide
and there,
receiver in NFL. What do you mean? He
but
be putting these fools on the sideline.
I ain't seen him drop big ball. I ain't seen him drop some balls. Bro, he
He
ain't
has
got that
he
dog,
has
bro.
one he has one drop on the year. I got all his stats pulled up right now. He has one
He
drop
ain't
on the
got
year.
no dog, bro. He ain't got
No
that
dog.
dog, bro. He ain't got no
Well,
dog like
he
that,
has
bro.
more. He has more touchdowns than D Hop. And if you look at D Hop's game by game this year, um, you know, he's had 2 big games. He has 3 big games this year. So
You
big
crazy?
game
D
against
Hop been
Seattle.
killing all year.
Okay, I'm reading. I'm reading his stats. I'm reading his stats. All right. So he hasn't played one defense that is ranked over the top 25. Just want to let that be known. Not one defense over 25, but he's doing his job. Good game against Seattle. He had 12
Bro,
catches.
who DK them playing? You saying it like they just played the damn Niners, the Hobble Niners. Like come on now. And the week before he played Seattle's defense, and it wasn't even him getting off. It was Lockett.
Again, that's the only game. So I'm saying this year, 4 catches, 95 yards, 4 catches, 92, 4 for 110, 4 for 106. He scored in every game except for 2 this year. 4 for 106, 6 for 93, 2 for
D Hop
23.
damn
12
near
for-
got 20 more catches than him, got more yards than him,
He has 11 more yards than him, and he has
averaged more than him per game.
and he has more. He has more
Yak is
catches.
high. Yak is higher than him, and DK supposed to be faster.
You said
He
it's
got
Yak.
more yak. Yes, he has more yak. And he got more first downs. Give me D Hop all day. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm taking D Hop.
I'm taking DK because I know I can just throw him the ball and the game would change. But
Like I said, I
that's
know
just
I
me.
can put the rock anywhere with D Hop, man. You place that thing anywhere, he gonna get it.
Yeah. Well, again, I think I've seen D Hop be stopped. I've not seen anyone stop DK.
When have you seen somebody stop D
Um,
Hop this year?
I will never forget when they 2000 last
I
playoffs.
said this year.
Oh,
Zay, we talking about this year. You said
oh,
we
this
talking about
year?
this year.
Oh, this year? He's been dominating this year. Well,
Let me see.
his worst game was against Dallas.
No touchdowns, 6 catches. He had 100 yards. Only 6 catches, no touchdowns against Miami. Miami strapped DK up. Let me see. I ain't strap him up, but they held him. You feel me? 5, and then that overtime loss. They lost. Yeah, overtime loss to Arizona. He
Time
only
out.
had 5
Four,
catches, 23
wait.
yards.
Wait. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. 4 catches for 106 yards is called locked.
I said no. What he had? Yeah, 4 catches for 106 yards.
That's called locked up.
He ain't getting the end zone. I ain't locked up. He ain't getting the end zone.
Okay.
But he ain't,
Well, DeAndre been locked up every game then except 3 then because if you count touchdowns. Because he
we
had
ain't
7.
count touchdown. We talking about catches and everything. We talking about a little bit of
I know
everything.
you say he got locked up against Miami because he didn't score. So what does that mean? That means every time you don't score, you locked up. I'm just trying to
I'm
gauge.
just saying Miami got some good corners and they was on them.
They was on him, bro. 4 catches for 106 yards is on him, but that's 20 yards a catch. Over. Hold on, bro. Wait. I just have to make sure we're on the same page. If you get 4 catches for 106 yards, that means you're locked in your mind. If you don't score,
Bruh, don't act like Cats can't get you acting like Cats can't get garbage time yards. Fucking Dak Prescott led the
that
league
wasn't
in
a garbage
garbage.
time. They were battling the whole game. Remember, Seattle had to come back.
Bruh.
Seattle had to come back. They were losing at halftime. Remember that? It was like they were upset alert.
No, they was up at halftime.
It was a close game, and they were on upset alert for a second. All I want to just say, if you got
that was when Fitz was on their ass. Yeah, I remember that game.
If you get 6 targets and you catch 4 of them for 106 in a close game, that's not locked up.
I won't say it's locked up. I didn't say he got locked up. He didn't. To me,
that's like damn against a good defense. That's called balling. Because if that's how you judging, that means Dallas locked up Hopkins, and that means
they could run the ball on D Hop. They could run the ball on Dallas all day. They didn't need to throw the ball to D Hop. I'm taking D Hop over DK right now. We can put a poll out later today.
Okay, I have this. Can I ask you this? Can I ask you this question then?
What?
Against Dallas, Hopkins had 8 targets, only caught 2.
Like I said, man, he didn't. They could throw the ball all game. They didn't need to throw. They didn't need to do nothing. He didn't need to do nothing. He didn't even have to play that game. He didn't have to play that game. They didn't have to win. Okay, and versus Minnesota, he had 11 targets. 11 targets. He only caught 6 of them. That's almost less than 50% of his balls. Name me any other D-Hop game like that. Because D-Hop catching everything. So name me another D-Hop game like that. Well, you ain't catching his targets.
That's the only
one.
Bro, but I'm just saying, what are you judging? Did he get locked if he didn't get 100 yards? That's what you're trying to say. You said
I
DK
didn't say
got locked
no.
against Miami.
I'm not saying I'll take that state. He did not get locked. I'm just saying
Okay, that's
overall
all.
this season. Yeah, I been take that. Yeah, but overall with the season, D Hop balling better than him. It's that simple. And I'm taking D Hop.
I'm not. There's nothing wrong with taking D Hop. I just think right
He
now
got better numbers
I
across the
seen
board.
not across the board. He has more
Besides
touchdowns.
touchdowns, DK got more touchdowns than D Hop. That's it. D Hop got more catches, yards, and yak. And I think his average is higher. Yeah, his average is higher.
I mean, you said yards per game.
Yards, yeah.
Yards per catch. That's not higher.
No, I say yards per game. I think his is at like 100 and DK is like 90 something. It's right there though.
Yeah, so DK got 680 and DeAndre got 704. So 24 more yards. And yeah, he averages on 12 yards a catch. DK averages almost 20 yards a catch.
You might even have to make an argument for Calvin. Calvin balling probably a little more than DK this year. Calvin serving.
I can't. Calvin really.
Them was garbage. Them was. I ain't gonna say he garbage, but a lot of those is garbage time.
That's because
they get blown out.
It's two teams whose receivers are gonna put a crazy number. 3 teams because they're all garbage. The Lions, Falcons, and Cowboys. They've played only garbage times this year.
Not even the Cowboys. They ain't even getting nothing now because they
because of QB. But I'm just saying early on, I think they led in almost every passing stat because they was garbage time. But I'm taking DK just because I think he can affect the game in one play. No disrespect to DeAndre's body of work, but I just think for right now, the way I just see DK against every team, against the Gilmores, against all the top dogs, he's changing the game. And the fact that you can throw him a screen and go 50, you can throw him a fade.
Why he didn't change the game against AZ? Why he didn't do something against Buddha and them? Buddha and them got on.
That was the Lockett game. That was a Lockett game. I think, but that's the effect. That's the effect I think DK brings though. Is because you have to account for.
You can't say that because DK was doing that. I mean, you can't say that because Ty was having big games like that way before DK was even thought of.
That was all career highs for Lockett. What do you mean?
I'm saying Did you see his stats on primetime games? He got like 8 touchdowns and like 9, almost 1,000 yards just in primetime games between him and Russ. He always played his biggest on big stage.
No, in fact, no disrespect to Lockett. Again, and Lockett had 1 catch against the Niners because it was the DK's. So I'm just saying, I think.
Shit, come on, man, it's the Niners. You know.
No,
so you talking about defenses? Nobody on the Niners can see that win. Nobody can even Sherman. Even Sherman's 6 feet plus, and he can line up with him, and he even looks small. He can't run with him, but he can line up with him and look probably side by side. But he even smaller than DK.
Okay, and to your point, you're 100% right because Hopkins had 14 catches, 150 against the Niners, and DK had 12 catches, 160, 2 touchdowns.
But you know what my thing is with DK, man. He doing it for most of this year. I gotta see it for a whole year, and just, like I said, I just gotta see a little more of that aggressive, that dog as far as catching the ball. Of course, I know he blocks his ass off, he putting things on the ground. I need to see you come across that middle, take them hits and them chops. That's why I always say you remind me. I don't see the Megatron. I see more like a better T.O. You feel me? That's what I always say.
And again,
I ain't gonna disrespect my boy T.O. like that. Excuse the hell out of me. Hey, faster T.O. I ain't gonna say better because he got to put the resume together. My T.O.
Again, he's on pace for that though. I've seen last year he's the best rookie receiver. This year he took another step. Whereas once I'm changing the game every game, and there's nothing y'all can do about it. And I think we got to appreciate this talent because there's no other receiver in the NFL right now that has the physical tools
so much him or is it so much his quarterback?
And so I think when they throw a Megatron out there, it's not. This is the next Megatron. He's going to be just as good as Megatron.
It ain't just like he finds DK open. He's finding Ty Lockett, David Moore. He hitting everybody. So is it him or is it his quarterback that took that next step?
Well, when your quarterback throws you a 30-yard pass and you take it the distance, I'm gonna say that's you. When you average 20 yards a catch, I'm gonna say that's you. Right now. The Lockett's, the smaller receivers, the Edelmans, all that, we can nitpick who all your quarterback got to be good. It's like Lockett is playing with Russ, right? But I feel like certain players doesn't matter. Like Travis Kelce, or Hill. They can play with Pat Mahomes, or they could play with Stafford.
Kittle do it too.
Kittle, Kelsey, right? We know that, but I just think that DK is amazing talent. And it's a sign to see him every week. It's just a physical presence of him making some spectacular play. The week before they lost, and one of the craziest rundowns we've seen. And also want to say, anybody that say they run 4-4, y'all need to stop lying out here in high school and shit. Buda Baker run a 4-4, and that's a real 4-4. He got knocked down by 4-3. And then last week against the Niners, he just moseyed on him. He just took the ball away. I think he caught his arm on a slant touchdown, took a 30-yard dig, and just took off. So I think he's a sign talent. It's debatable. Obviously, the top two dogs have been doing a while.
I just still don't see Megatron. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think you understand. I think you're misunderstanding the comparison as far as there's no one physically that can do what he do. That's what I'm saying. There's no one physically that can do.
But you can make that case for Randy. You feel me? That being that tall, running the way he ran. You feel me?
That's what I'm saying.
Guys like that. So
when we had this debate, I was just like, the last 20 years, 25, 30 years, there's been 3 receivers who physically no one on the league was on par with. That is Randy Moss. That is Terrell Owens. People forget. And then there's Megatron. But Terrell Owens was like the first kind of Julio, someone that's 6'4", that can run. There was no real receiver that was that big that can run. Obviously, Randy Moss was, but Randy Moss was smaller. T.O. could break a tackle and take it 50, right? So those are and the only 2 other receivers that come in my mind that I've seen that just gifted on holding a level is DK and Julio. And again, I think DK is a little different than Julio because of Julio, we like, we've seen this before. We've seen T.O. With DK, we're like, all right, well, you're 235 like T.O., but you're running like Randy, right? But now what he lacks, he doesn't have the one-hand Randy, right? He's a body catcher like T.O., where I'll just jump higher than you and body catch it. So if DK keeps this up, and crazy part, come out of college, his questions were injury, right? Injury in the 3-cone. People couldn't get over his 3-cone. He's shown he stayed healthy. Who gives a fuck about the 3-cone? And he's just a beast. So we excited to see more of him in that division.
I'll say another guy. Just quick on as far as taking that next step, and I was just mentioning him because he's a close guy to DK. AJ Brown's taking a pretty good step too in year 2. I like him as a receiver.
Man, isn't it crazy they was on the same team?
Yeah, and they wasn't more monsters on offense. I just don't understand that. I gotta blame Lane Kiffin on that one.
No, Lane Kiffin wasn't there yet. It was Hugh Freeze. And that had some quarterback. I think he's in the CFL now. Like, not good quarterback play. Okay. It's kind of like, remember, like Landry and Odell. Like, if you say that now, like, what do you mean? They should have been the craziest duo in college. But it's in the SEC a lot. You'll see some crazy good receiver duos with weak quarterback play. So you don't really get to see the best version of them. I think Alabama was the first time you've seen like, oh, this is what good ass receivers look like with good ass quarterback. This is crazy. And obviously in Ohio State as well. So you as far as other young receivers, how do you is there any other receivers or up and coming players? Fogum, he might be here for a minute.
Man, he nice. Yeah, that boy, he got, man. You know why? Like, when you just watch a guy, you like, man, that's a receiver. Just when he just run, that's how I get about Fogum. Like when he running, it's like, man, that dude look like a receiver. Like long, lanky, real rangy. Get open and 1-on-1. I like that kid, man. I really do. And Rager showed me some more last night where he's earning it. I'm still not all in, but he's earning my love. So he showed a little promise last night. Got him his first touchdown.
It's a lot of. It's crazy part. I think we're gonna see a lot of good receivers for a while, just because
the game, man. The game is in some good hands, man. Especially these last 2 pass drafts, man. With the receivers, they definitely secured that spot up after Julio and D-Hop and was done. This next crop right here is definitely holding it down.
Yeah,
Justin Jefferson. It's a bunch. Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry. It's a bunch of guys out there, man, that can play some ball.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It's a lot, and they're all different types of receivers. I think the Chiefs kind of set I wouldn't say the staple, but kind of showed. I think a lot of way the teams are changing. The Seahawks doing a little bit now, even the Bucks. is you want every different type of receiver, right? And I think teams either want that big X receiver or have him be your tight end, right? So I just look at the Raiders in their division, right? The Raiders have a tight end, big tight end. They got Ruggs over top. They got Aguilar. They got third down Renfro. Then you got you look at the Kansas City, it's the same way. They got Kelsey. They got the over top guy Hill. They got the underneath guy in Watkins. Robertson as well. So I think a lot of teams are going to just start drafting different pieces. I mean, the Niners doing it too, right? Brandon Ayuk stretch the field, Debo underneath. So I think teams are coming more versatile with type of receivers they have. We're
Quick
not going to
question
have
for
that.
you. All right, quick questions. I seen them talking about it earlier, I think, on ESPN. Who you out of duos right now, just between these two, who would you take out of shit? We could put 3 in there because I made a case for D Hop. Kyler D Hop or Russ and DK or Pat and Ty Hill. If you're the GM and you get to pick out of those duos, which one you taking?
That's a tough one.
That's tough.
You already know who I'm gonna go with.
Going Russ, Pat and DK.
I just look when you said Russ and DK. I just like all right. I just look at attributes. Russ is the best deep ball thrower in the league. DK his best attributes going deep. So to me, that connects. Now I have seen countless times where Pat. Again, I'm a Raider fan, so I can watch the Chiefs twice a year. Where they've had misconnections just because Hill's not a big guy, so you got to hit him accurate deep, right? And then with Kyler and D Hop, I think D Hop's a dog. You want everything you want in a wide receiver. That might be my second pick. Might be Kyler D Hop, but I just look at it.
I gotta go with Pat Ty, man. I gotta go with the QB. I know I like the DK and Russ one because I feel like
Kelsey and Pat, yeah, they've had more. I think they're like the tight duo, and then Hill's his second option. That's just
true. But we was going receiver and far. We was doing receiver. I'm just gonna go with that. The fastest motherfucker. I'm gonna go with him and the QB that I know can put the ball anywhere. So it's like motherfucker, run where I tell you to run. Just where know the ball gonna get there. You catch and do your thing.
One that you didn't say, and I think I would take this over all of them.
Tay and Rogers.
You already know because it's like clockwork with them. I ain't never seen them off pace. And DK and Russ only been together 16 months. Kyler and Hop been together 5 months, right? And Hill they've been together 3 years now. So
2-3 years, yeah.
But yeah, those all great matchups. And I think one. Let me ask you this then, since we're on this, who you think has a better feel for each other, Watson and Hopkins or Kyler and Hopkins?
Oh, that's tough. Yeah, I don't even know. What I will say is it looks easier with Kyler as far as I don't know the way the ball's being delayed. I don't know what. It's just his game look a little smoother and easier with Kyler. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not trying to disrespect D Hop or nothing, but like as far as with D Hop or with D Watt and D Hop, it was like I'm gonna fling it. It almost reminded me of like Matt Stafford, Megatron-esque as far as I don't care who guarding. I'm not saying that was that he's Megatron. I'm not saying that, but as far as like how when you used to watch them games, you knew Matt Stafford didn't give a damn who was guarding Calvin, how many was guarding him. I'm gonna just throw his ball up and he gonna go make a play. I feel like his game was tougher. The degree of difficulty in his game was tougher playing with D.
Tell me if I'm wrong trying to explain this. Basically, Hopkins looked more like Mike Williams in Houston, where just every catch was just like, that's amazing, but damn, everything's hard. And with the Cardinals, he gets some of those open space plays.
Yeah, you feel me? It looks a lot more. The degree of difficulty in his game is a lot easier in AZ than it was in Texas playing with D Watt.
Okay,
and that's no knock to D Watt, man. Cause we love D Watt up here.
No, I'm just saying that's a good question.
That was a good question.
How can he basically played nothing with black QBs? The last was gonna be 4 or 5 years, but let's end off with this real quick. I need your top 5 in NFL right now. The top 5 Super Bowl contenders.
Top 5, man. I'm still, my number 1. I'm gonna still go with. Matter of fact, did I have the Steelers one last week? I don't know, but I'm gonna go.
No, you had the Chiefs. I had the Steelers.
Okay. I'm gonna go KC. I'm gonna go Chiefs again with 2, just because, like I said, I'm still not the biggest believer in their defense, especially more so on the back end. not college, excuse me. Lamar gave him 3-4 balls turnovers yesterday, and he still had two late chances to win the game, not just come back. He had 2 shots to win the game at the end of the game. So I'm still not sold on Pittsburgh defense all the way, and the point differential is not the best, but I'm gonna go Kansas City 1, Steelers 2. I'll go Tampa 3, and I'll go Seattle 4, and I'll put. I got 5. I don't know about the Saints. I'm gonna go AZ 5. I'm gonna put AZ 5. I want to say the Saints, but I don't know. Especially without Mike, I know they're getting it done, but it's like I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna go AZ 5.
So
I'm gonna put AZ my 5th spot.
they're better than the Seattle?
No, I had Seattle 4.
4? Oh, okay. I didn't hear that part.
I got KC, Steelers, Tampa, Seattle, and I'm gonna go AZ with the 5th spot.
Yes, that's generous. AZ. I like that though. I feel like they're.
I definitely don't want to throw the Packers in there. Just come. I'm not feeling their defense, and then I couldn't really see. Like I said, the Saints. I tip my hat to them getting it done without Mike, but it's like I don't know. It's been ugly. They almost lost to the Bears last week, so I don't know, man.
Yeah, just you don't fear the Saints.
Yeah,
I like that.
especially without Mike.
Yeah, my top 5. I still have Steelers 1, just because when you knock off Titans, Ravens back-to-back weeks, no other team has had to play. No other good team has played heavy hitters and shown out well like that. So to me, that's why the Steelers are 1. And also, like I said, I think they're the most balanced. They have the second-ranked defense, and 6th-ranked offense. They put over 30 points a game. And then I believe in Mike Tomlin. I mean, shout out to Mike Tomlin tying Tony Dungy's record for 140 wins, tied for the most ever wins for a black coach, and he's going to finish with the most by the end of this year. So I still got Steelers 1. I got Chiefs 2, and I feel like kind of like last year, kind of like the sleeping giant. Last year, remember Pat Mahomes had like a weird injury; he was out for like 2 weeks, and they just were playing weird. I just don't think the Chiefs have had that primetime game against a top opponent. When they have that and they beat them up, I think they'll jump the Steelers.
Yeah, they had that Baltimore game. They beat them Baltimore.
Yeah. Remember the Baltimore, and again,
the Houston Ravens.
Houston Ravens. But no, you're right. That was a good win. But I still look at it like what the Steelers had the Titans and Ravens. That's why it's real close to me. It's almost 1A, 1B. It's more of I know that Pittsburgh can rush 4 and get pressure against the Chiefs. And also I believe they can score just as many points. So I think that's the difference maker. So 1-2, and I think that's just the AFC Championship waiting to happen. I don't see it playing out any different. And also that's going to be the 1 and 2 seed, in my opinion. Third, I'm right there with you, Tampa. And I think they're clearly right now positioned the best team in the NFC. I don't see any team challenging them whatsoever right now. Again, Russ is playing amazing, but their defense is atrocious. Now, I would say the Seahawks are my 4th team. And I saw Coward say something really, really interesting today on this show.
You say you had 2? Who had 3?
Same thing as you, Tampa.
Okay.
But I got Seahawks at 4, and they could be rising up towards the end of the year. But it's going to be hard for them to pass Tampa. But I say this to say Colin Coward made a good point. Out all these top teams we're talking about, Super Bowl teams, he said that they all peaked. Like we know what the Steelers are, we know what the Chiefs are, we know what Tampa is. But the Seattle, there's 7-1, and one flag away from being undefeated with the 32nd ranked defense. They just got Chris Dunlap. They got Adams on the way. So they got they've been playing without their top corner Griffin, right? They was out him last game. So they got reinforcements on the way. They got both their running backs getting healthy. So they got a lot to worry about. And I think outside the Chiefs, they have the scariest offense. And it might just be right on par with the Chiefs just because, I mean, if you look at the personnel on both sides of the ball, I'll give the Chiefs a heads up only because they got Andy, right? So Andy makes a difference. But yeah, then fifth was the hardest for me. I like Arizona. I got Queensbury in my head, just like
get over Cliff, man. Just buy into K1. Just buy into K1.
I do. Hey, you know my rule: quarterback and coach. That's how I judge the teams. Then the rest, the defense, all that is how we nitpick. So I sit back. I'm like, okay, what quarterback coach combo and record wise is better than Arizona? And I've been talking a lot of mess about them, but I think if they matched up in the playoffs, I think the Packers would beat Arizona. So I'm put the Packers 5, and I don't even have confidence in them. I thought about putting the Titans here, but the Titans, I realized something the last couple. They lost to the
They
Bengals.
defense not
Yeah,
like it was
they
last
have to play
year.
perfect on defense. Clowney and Beasley have combined for 0 sacks. 0 sacks. And Clowney want all this money. He gonna get a vet minimum next year. Well, he tripping. But that's what the Titans to me. I like their offense. But to me, their offense is a 10 to 15 offense, right? You got AJ Brown, but Tannehill's a B-level quarterback, can run. You got Henry, but it's not you're not scared, right? It's not like Seattle Chiefs, right? Or even still, I think the Steelers' offense is better. So that's why I didn't put the Titans there. They're reminding me a little bit. They're kind of like they're dumping down to a 9-10 win team in my eyes. And then you also look at the Ravens, right? Like, oh, the Ravens I think should be better than the Packers or the Cardinals. Well, I know this. I know the Ravens are down. They can't throw their way and win the game. That's a fact, right? You say you love Lamar, all that. I mean, obviously I picked the Steelers to win. I know you picked the Ravens, but I don't know if Lamar can throw their way out of the game. He has to show me that, right? And again, they're the Houston Ravens until they win a playoff game. So yeah, I got Packers in that 5 with I'm with you. I got the Cardinals right there next. I'm just like, hey, Packers are in NFC Championship last year. I think LaFleur and A-Rod are a better duo than Cliff and Kyler, but Kyler and Cliff are trending up to surpass them. So they definitely Cardinals 6 up and rising. Then behind the Cardinals, I got Titans and Ravens. But I will say this: the NFC. It seems like there's just 4 teams that are really going to win the Super Bowl this year. Where is it going to be? It's going to be Tampa, Steelers, Chiefs, or Seahawks. And I think that's the 4. That's the real 4, and the rest are pretenders. I don't know. What's your thoughts around those 4? Not pretenders,
Tampa.
but just like they just don't have enough.
But you said Tampa, Chiefs, Seattle, and who?
And Steelers, like not
Yeah,
just no,
that's
not
the
that's not
cream
the
of the
order.
crop. Like that's tier
Yeah,
1. That's tier 1. If that's what you mean, yeah,
yeah.
that's
I
tier
like
1.
that. I like doing tiers and top. Let's start doing that. I like the tiers. Like tier 1,
Yeah,
you
them
got
the tier 1 football
those are
teams.
like, hey, NFC and AFC championship. Those are going to be the Super Bowl teams. Tier 2, like, hey, they can win it. They're going to win a divisional round, win a playoff series, but they can't. They don't have it in them. I think that's that group of Cardinals, Titans, Ravens. That's that group. Would you throw any other team in that? Packers. I throw Packers in that.
I don't even know anymore, man.
No.
Like I said, I'm just shaking on them because I don't like their defense the last 2 weeks.
Okay, we'll say tier 3 is Cardinals, Ravens, and but yeah, as we said, Cardinals, Ravens. There was one more team in that. The Packers. You have 2 record wise. Well, lost 2 games.
Packers
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, for
Tier
tier 3.
tier 3, I would put other like those fighting for wild cards. You got your Colts, you got your Dolphins,
The
I
Raiders.
guess Raiders, Bills, right? Those 4. I'm trying to think of some NFC teams. I guess you throw the Rams in there as well. And would you throw Saints in tier 2?
I thought maybe in tier 3 without
Okay.
Mike. Gotta see them how they
I think
look
we got to
with
make
Mike.
yeah. The Bears and Saints are like a similar team to me. Just like they're gonna win games, but like I don't fear them at all in the playoffs. Like they just got one and done written all over them.
No, you still got to respect Drew. I say Drew and them and company a little more skinny because he still got Kamara, and if he had Mike, you feel me? Kamara's
What?
playing like the best back, if not Dalvin Cook. But you got to respect Kamara.
You're right. What? Okay, you're right. Let's just take the Saints for instance, right? There's only 2 teams we know they can't beat: Seahawks and Tampa. The rest they can, right? Am I wrong? NFC, I'm talking NFC.
Can't say that they beat Tampa already. Zay, they play Tampa this week
I,
coming up, week
I'm
9, but they
I'm
beat Tampa already.
yeah. Week 1 wins. I throw out. No, I don't really like.
I
Tom's
got
first
you.
day with the offense.
Tom first,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. If you watch these 2 teams right now, you can't say, you know what? Obviously, it'd be a close matchup again because it's divisional, but it's no way you watch those 2 teams saying that's a close team, right? I think Tampa takes a step every week. I feel like, don't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
that
you're
Brady
right. I
effect,
think
man.
Saints can win one, right? They could beat the Cardinals. They just beat the Bears, right? They could beat the Packers. So those would be the type of teams that we were playing in those first round, you know.
Yeah.
So shit, Niners, if they pull some shit off,
Nah,
right?
they done for.
They done. You got anything else?
No, I'm good, man.
I know me and you good. Both our teams got to win.
Hell yeah.
I
We
mean,
can't
your team gonna
complain.
be hosting a playoff game.
Man, for real. I don't
So
know how, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah. So now I'm Raiders got Chargers. Eagles on a bye this week?
No, we got the Giants, I believe.
Giants? Oh yeah. Huh. I swear, like you got 3 teams in the division where you're just happy to play them.
Oh god, yeah, our division.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous. They said Damon Arnett should be back this week against the Chargers because we need him. With I can already just see Mike Williams just doing something dirty on the Raiders secondary. I can see it.
I like the boy Herbert, man. He's balling.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared of him.
Sweet Joe got him a win too, man. Joe got him a win on the Titans this week, man. So you better look out for these rookie quarterbacks, man. They not playing games out here.
Oh yeah. Hey, it's the crazy part. I'm scared of Herbert, and they just lost to Denver. I'm not. That's one thing is I'm not scared of Anthony Lynn. Man, I hate seeing my black coaches just man, but he's got to go, bro. Oh my, he's the Black Dan Quinn.
I don't do him that bad. I wouldn't even give him that bad.
Actually, you're right. No, I can't disrespect. At least Quinn went to the Super Bowl, went to some playoffs.
I was gonna say Quinn went to a Super Bowl too.
Lynn has blown 4 leads this year. 4 leads, all double-digit points. Anthony Lynn doesn't make halftime adjustments. It's he gives a rah-rah speech. Like he tells one of those coaches, like, all right, guys, just keep doing what we're doing. Like, no, this is the NFL. We gotta do, let's throw another punch now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got, man. It was a good weekend of football. Physical weekend of football.
Yes, sir. We got Thursday before we get out of here. You got Thursday night football. Packers or the Niners?
Landslide Packers because they just got their ass whooped, and I think it would be the Mullins show this Thursday. So yeah, ass whooping.
I got a close one, Packers. Maybe like a touchdown or 2, but I see it within a 2-possession ball game. I wouldn't be surprised by a blowout, but I think Kyle got LaFleur number by a little bit, so it shouldn't be a blowout.
You gotta have players though. No Kittle, no starting running back, no starting quarterback. So it's gonna be tough, but we're gonna see. I got Packers. And Packers just got embarrassed, so I think they might come out with a little fuck you mode. So we're gonna see.
All right, well,
I hope we see a good game, though. That's all I do.
Yep.
I hope I'm wrong.
Yep. That's everything.
Yep, man. It's 2:30 Friday. We got your hot takes. Come join us. Say what you got to say, and let's talk football.
Yes, sir.
Still went for it. It's time to change the club.